Hey, this is the tutorial for SongKernel for musicians. If you're not familiar with concepts of music theory, you'd better check out first the tutorial for non-musicians. Well, in this tutorial we're gonna see how this application, this instrument, works. Here on this wheel we have an array of buttons that represent chords. We use them to play chords, and here we have the piano to play notes of a melody. Here we have a switch, major, minor. We use it to set the scale. We want to play in a major or a minor scale. So we see that the array of buttons doesn't change. The thing is that we start in number 1 here when it is a minor scale, and here when it is a major scale. Now let's suppose we want to play in a major scale, and B major. We find B here on the letters which are around the circle. B is here, and we drag it either to the left or to the right so that B gets here to position number 1. That means that now we're going to play B major. If we wanted to play a minor scale like E flat, here's E flat, we drag it, and here's E flat on position number 1. Now let's go back to major and let's play D major. Here's D. Okay, now we're playing on D major, so we have the chord of D major. The chords here are more or less similar to the ones of a guitar, playing basic chords on the guitar, which would be root, 5th, root, 3rd, 5th, and root. So we have D major here, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, B minor, and C sharp diminished. So we have the 7 chords of the scale of D major. Here we can change the pitch of the sound. Okay, so I'm playing this one. Now we have on this central circle we have the 7 chords, the 7 triads, chords made up of stacking 3 notes. The 7, as I said, the 7 chords of the scale. If we play with 1 finger, it's going to be triad. If we play with 2 fingers, it's going to be a tetrad. So now we would play the first chord, D major, with major 7th. And now on the second one, we would play E minor 7th. And here on the third one, it would be F sharp minor 7th. And in this one, it's going to be G major with the major 7th. Right? Okay, and we also have this other circle around, which is for chords that are not part of a scale but are very common and used, and that's very important because when you're taught theory, you know the chords that belong to the scale, but you don't know very well which are the chords that are not part of a scale but you can use, and why. Well, here it doesn't matter much why. If you like to know that, you'd study harmony, but you know that on the first degree, which is major, if you want it to fit on a major scale, it could also be minor, and second degree could also be major, and the third degree could be major too, and that's because of a melodic minor scale. If we are in a minor scale, now we're in B minor. Okay, fifth degree, using a note that is not part of a scale helps you have a dominant chord, which will make it easy for you to get back to number 1. So going back to major scale, here we have a 4th minor, a 5th minor, 6th major. We have a 7th major and a 7th minor, and And we also have notes in between, like a flat 7th major or a flat 2nd diminished. And well, all these notes can be used on your compositions, or even to play songs. When you start playing songs by other people, you start to realize how they use many chords that are not part of a scale. There are certain chords that can be played with 3 fingers, which is indicated here by 3 little dots. It means that you can play the first chord with a minor 7th, with the flat 7th. Sorry, there will help you go to the 4th. On the 7th, the 3 little dots indicate that it's going to be a diminished chord with 4 notes. And here we have a flat 7th that, if we play with 3 fingers, is going to have a flat 7th. There is also a representation of colors. As you can notice, greens are roots and yellows are subdominants and reds are dominants. So that helps you, especially non-musicians, to once they learn this concept, to know which chord will add more tension or will be good to play after certain other chords. Here we also have some arrows which indicate the circle of 5th or 4th. So if we start playing here the 7th degree, okay, it's a dominant one, so it tells you with a red arrow that you'd better go to the 3rd degree. It doesn't mean that you have to go there, but it's something logic. So you go to the 3rd and it turns yellow. It tells you, okay, you did what made sense, or at least you're following the circle of 5ths. Now if we go to the 6th, it tells you, oh, you're still following the circle. And we go here, and yeah, we still follow the circle, and so on, and we go to the 5th. Here the 5th is dominant, so the arrow is red again, telling you, okay, you'd better go here. Now it turns yellow, and now we go here. Here we have a switch which says piano circle, and that is for sound parameters between the circle and the piano. Here we have the piano, which is transposed according to the scale we choose here. Here we are playing in D major, okay, so in note number 1 we have D. So playing wide notes is always going to fit the scale. And also when you play a chord here, it shows you with lights which are the notes that make up that chord. Red for the root and yellow for the other notes. So and if we play a chord which is out of the scale, like this one, we're going to have a note which is out of the scale, which is not on the white notes. So here we can play notes with one finger and melody with the other. So here we have this switch to select sound parameters. Here we have volume, waveform. Well, the synthesis is very basic still. Here we have stroke, which is also here we have an envelope filter with attack, decay, sustain, and release. Now if we want to set the parameters for the piano, we use the switch here, and now we can set volume, waveform, and release for the piano notes. So with that we can go from 0 to notes staying for a long time. The piano notes can be scrolled here by dragging this area from the pots where there are no notes. So in between the blocks of 2 and 3 black keys, we can drag it and go to something. So we can drag it and go from something like this. I think there are 8 octaves. On this display, you can see the chord that you're playing. Here's D major, G major, F sharp major, B minor, etc. Now, in case you want to play other chords that are not here, that are not on the wheel, you have the advanced panel here. With override, you can make any chord or on any degree be major, minor, augmented, diminished, or 11th chord. So let's suppose we want to play a 11th. And that's going to work only for the next note you're playing after you press the button here. If you wanted to keep it making all chords like 11th, okay, you have to lock it here and choose 11th, and now all chords are going to be 11th. And if you want to finish that, you press reset, and that's it. The same with any other kind of chord. Here we have voicing, so we can use this for inversions, like first inversion. It's going to be the first inversion of that chord, or the second. And well, here we can omit or add notes of a chord, like we want to omit the third. Now we're omitting thirds, and we can use this. Power chords. We could also add a sixth or any other note we like to add. And here we have bass, which means you're going to change the bass of the chord. Like, let's suppose I want to play the first chord but with the bass on the 5th note, so we're gonna play a D major chord with a bass on A. In case you want to play a suspended, a sus4 chord, what you do is you drag the 3rd to the 4th here, and now that chord is a sus4 chord, so we move the 3rd to the 4th position. Now, in case you want to use this application to sing along songs, you can load the songs here. And let's suppose we want to play Love Song by The Cure. On this display, it tells us which is the scale for that song, in which scale you have to set the instrument. So it says A minor. So we set the minor scale first, and then we pick A. So now we're on A minor. And now you can notice the notes are the same, but the numbers are different. Number 1 is here, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we can start playing the song. As you can notice here, there's an indicator of 2 fingers, so that means you have to play this note when it crosses this line with 2 fingers. And you can sing along if you like. Well, that's much it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy this instrument, and you can use it for playing songs or learning more about harmony or making your own songs.